Okay, so generally what happens is whenever you face such issues, you approach people. As we said earlier when the program started, you need to approach the right kind of people. I won't dwell much on it because we have an entire session on that, but we can simply say whether it is your friend, family, faculty, or any professional counselor, you need to have trust in person and you need not suffer alone. So that is what the program is all about. We have certain, like the student very rightly said, can we seek professional help? We have certain professionally qualified people who are there to listen to you, advise you and help you. And we are happy to have one such person amidst us. She is Ms. Jyoti Shukla, who is a professional counselor and associated with us in professional capacity. She is a student counselor at BCIPS. I'm sure many of you would have already met her. So I'll just briefly introduce ma'am. She has done her MBA from NILM School of Business, Masters in Psychology from Andhra University, and has acquired a PG Diploma in Guidance and Counseling from Jamia Millia Islamia University. Ma'am has a rich experience in the field of youth guidance and counseling, and she has been associated with reputed hospitals and NGOs in professional capacity. So we have a very experienced person here amidst us. We extend a very warm welcome to you, ma'am, and we are all looking forward to listen to you. Please, the stage is all yours.
Hello everyone. I hope a few of you know me, have visited me. So, how did you like this skit? Anything relatable? Lot of it? Okay, did you watch the movie? Really? So shall I ask you questions related to the movie? Okay, so before we start, before we proceed, just wanted to know what are few things you could relate with the movie? Anybody? No one? Ha, please, with that. Yeah, right. And anybody else? Okay. One basic thing, that all of us are born with at least one talent. Is that true? We need several people around us who are genuine to us. In this case, there were 4. Can you name 4 people who are very genuine if you have seen the movie? Anyone? The professor. Okay, and? Right, and? 4, I said 4 there were. Agar aapne aur notice kiya, you can come up with that. Yeah, the girlfriend, yeah. And the professor, the therapist. Okay, so there are the 4 people who are very important in everybody's life. All of us are dealing with something or the other. To recognize this, yes, this person has this talent or this person is dealing with something, you need people around you. It can be your professor, can be your parents, can be an elder sibling or anybody. Isn't it? We need to be, somebody should be there to listen to us. Another thing, if you have noticed, that anybody who instigates fights, arguments, are the ones who are very lonely. Ever notice that? Even in your batch also, somebody who's like getting involved in a lot of arguments are generally unheard people, somewhere emotionally abandoned. Isn't it?
You are very lonely.
Yes. I can't hear you. You have to be a little louder for me to hear you. Somebody said something? Okay. So, his friend, he did you see that part where the friend said that you are sitting on a winning lottery? Anybody heard that part? Okay. You're sitting on a winning lottery. It would be an insult to us if you're still around us in 20 years. He knew that he was a born mathematician. He needs to be heard. He needs to be in a different place where he was not. Isn't it? Okay. With all the suffering, understanding, and like how one is being treated as a child, is that your fault to be in that position? But sometimes we are very hard on ourselves. We don't really value that we can make mistakes. This boy was behaving in that way. He was very defensive of everything he was doing. Isn't it? I'm sure you guys have not seen the movie properly, is it? Okay. So let's proceed. So these are some important pictures which we have, the team has thought of, that yes, these are some striking, like we can pick some inference with this. Next. So before, again, I wanted to be a little bit more interactive. I would like if you all start talking. Then only, otherwise half of you will sleep after. What is health? I want you to answer. Yeah. Atyasha, right? Please.
Ma'am, according to me, health has two aspects, like
Right.
we had talked before.
Yeah.
It's first we should consider our mental health, and then we should see our physical health, because both go parallelly.
Yeah, both are equally important.
As
Yeah.
if we are like physically fit, we have everything that we need physically.
Right.
But mentally, if we are not in a good place, we are not in a good state, we don't know how to proceed. Then it's useless having that physical fitness. So I think, according to me, health is.
Yeah, very well said, please, Sarah. As per WHO, it says that health is a cumulative of your physical, your mental, and your social health. Just avoidance of or not having any physical illness does not mean that you're healthy. So now when WHO kind of body is recognizing mental health, we need to understand. And why is it important? Why suddenly there was an awareness towards mental health? Why is it important? Because according to the stats, last year, since the pandemic struck, it was around 17% Indians are suffering from something or the other form of mental illness, which are not even taken care of. So, why is awareness important? Anybody from that side? Harman, if you wish to answer. No, it's okay if you are not comfortable. We can just because early intervention helps in early detection and in the early treatment, and hence the recovery is faster. As your body, when your body aches, you go to a doctor, and you are fine and you come back like that. Similarly, if you are not feeling well, you need to reach to take care of your mental health. Okay, so symptoms. Somebody is sleeping in between. Okay, so symptoms of mental health. Can you just? I want you to say me. What are the symptoms for it? Yeah. And have you ever noticed somebody around you is not feeling good or something?
Yes, ma'am.
बताएं.
My friend एंग्जाइटी है बहुत, तो वो 12-20 की बात करता है मेरे से कि उसको एंग्जाइटी होती है, तो मैंने उसको बोला है कि कंसल्ट करे जितना पॉसिबल है, तो अभी ठीक है वो.
He's fine. So what were the symptoms?
मैम वो बहुत, जब भी कोई पुशअप होता है ना, वो बात नहीं कर पाता. तो वैसे ही जब उसका जीडी था उनका उसका कौसी पाँच में सेम इशू ऐसा रहा तो वो बात नहीं कर पा रहा था.
Okay. So the symptoms are confused thinking. There are times when you're not able to think for substantial time. It can be due to some childhood effect, some loss of a loved one. Poor grades, persistent nightmares. Now every dream has a relevance. There are certain, like sometimes there are people who are fine in the daytime and they suddenly, like when everything is fine, they're sleeping, they see weird dreams. Change in sleeping habits. One of the biggest symptoms that you are suffering from some kind of unrecognized mental health issue is that your sleeping pattern goes down. Your eating habits go down. Alcohol or substance abuse, very common in youngsters. Confused thinking, irritability, agitated, and obviously procrastination. You just want to leave things, delay it, I'll do it afterwards, like that. So, coming to, anybody can name few, because when I meet you all personally, you all tell me that, ma'am, I think I'm suffering from this issue. What is it? Can anybody tell me? Any name of you feel that I have come across some people that, ma'am, mujhe shayad OCD hai. Very commonly people come up with this that mujhe OCD hai. Is it? Please.
Hello. Hello ma'am, my name is Dipali. Actually, I feel like I'm suffering from anxiety disorder और मैं claustrophobic भी हूँ और ये इतना ज़्यादा हो चुका है कि मैं मेट्रो में ट्रैवल नहीं कर पा रही हूँ.
Okay.
तो I think this is a symptom of mental health बहुत खराब है, तो मेरे लिए ये मेरा एक symptom ही है.
हाँ बेटा, because you know sometimes when things are not checked, maybe you have not reached out at the right time when the initial stage was there,
Yes.
or maybe it's not anxiety disorder. It is just a simple anxiety which can be treated with certain, like if you can just talk out. Good that you're coming up, and we appreciate that people like you are coming up and talking about it. People generally avoid because we very commonly say, you know, like phrases like "pagal ho gaya," "are you mad?" They are so common that it has reached to a level of stigma. Even if somebody is actually facing something, they will not come up. So I appreciate your effort that you actually came up and spoke in between. Okay. No. The types, there are around 10 types of mental disorders. There are anxiety, what she said. Anxiety and depression are different. Anxiety is like when you're not feeling good for some time. Depression is another thing which is not so easy. Somebody can be sad, depressed, but cannot be clinically depressed. That needs a clinical intervention when you have to talk about something. Somebody is not feeling good, or there's, clinical depression is there. Okay, so others are personality disorders. All of these diseases need to be, reached out to a right person to have a proper diagnosis. Certain stigmas with mental health. If we come across like a child is facing some mental disorder or something which like faulty thinking or confused thinking, they reach out to the parents sometimes. Parents love them, but sometimes they're not able to process it, and they will, why do you want to go to a counselor? What is the need? Why do you want to discuss it with somebody outsider? You need not go and talk to an outsider for all these things. We are here to help. But what happens is, because parents love us, no doubt in that, but they are not practically trained to understand all the type of things you are suffering from. Now another facts like fiction, the myths are, once somebody is a mental health patient, he'll be violent. But the fact is, they'll be like in schizophrenia. Because of the media and movies, they are shown in different forms and figures the way these mental disorders are. But actually, once if you are having some kind of mental disorder, it is not necessary that you'll go up and be like extremely violent or loud over this. Children cannot suffer from mental disorder. थोड़ा सा खेलेगा ठीक हो जाएगा. It's not the fact. Sometimes they are coming from a difficult childhood or background family, dysfunctional families, so they face problems. Then one, if somebody is having a mental disorder, nothing can be done. You have to deal with Tiko, Bhai, no, it needs to be taken care of. It needs to be, reach out to a well-equipped, trained person before you come to a conclusion that kuch nahi ho sakta. If you reach to somebody in an initial state, it will just be fine with therapies and all. If you go to a therapist in an advanced stage, I'm sure you need some medicines for curing. Okay. Anybody can cite out certain causes. What are the basic causes? I have intentionally not made the slide. I wanted you all to come up or let us have an interactive session for that. Anybody? Can be a family, dysfunctional family. Parents are fighting, though they love the child, but they are not, because they are so occupied in their own lives, they are not able to help the child. The child finds ways in her own ways. Death of a loved ones. Again, there are other issues which you might all be facing, like maybe gender inequality. Though lot of things have been said, but on ground realities, there are still certain gender inequalities happening in our place. Lack of workplace amenities. Very commonly, some of us must have faced, maybe females must have faced, in their workplaces there are, there is not supportive infrastructure, like washrooms are sometimes not so well kind of placed, so that children cannot or females cannot find it suitable to work. And if somebody has faced any trauma as a child and it has not been worked on, like in case of Will, if you have seen the movie, he was abandoned by his foster parents. He was, after that what happened, he always used to push anybody used to come close to him, be it a girlfriend, be a friend, like anybody used to, whoever tried to help, he used to just push him away, because he was facing adjustment issues. As a child, he has faced abandonment. Another thing, nowadays we are getting a lot of cases related to the internet, where digital footprints, how you are, what you are seeing, what you are trying to show, or what you are seeing from like others' page. You will always see the others are happy. All your Instagram and Facebook, you will see, okay, if he just fought with me, but he uploaded a picture. So that is giving you a kind of stress when you see somebody else in a faulty picture, and because nobody wants to upload a sad photo in Instagram. Is that not, like, does that not happen with all of us? Like, if you feel that, oh, she's very happy because she's uploading a lot of happy pictures, you start comparing yourself. You can be also in a state of danger if you don't use it properly. So internet is also causing a lot of stress, like she has last seen this, and I in your relationship, and also there are n number of issues that are coming up because of the internet, isn't it? So have you ever noticed like somebody who is just too quiet, might be we sometimes try wisely not talking, what is it? Might be he's facing some abusive behavior in the family. Maybe you see some, women in the gathering is like just set aside and not well properly dressed and left. Who knows, she's suffering from some domestic violence since ages. There are so many things that, things like eve teasing. I remember there was a case, this girl came to me, she was in class 12th, she used to perform very well, but suddenly her grades went down. Lot of things, like her parents showed to her doctors and everybody, but things were, all her medical reports, physiological body issues, everything was fine. Then some doctors only consulted, just referred the case to me. So I was going through the case and I just spoke to her, she was very quiet. And I took the history part and I just saw, and after going through the case properly, after 5th session she opened. Because in the first session, generally people, you need to interact and they will not open up. So the 3rd, 4th session, I remember she just said that, ma'am, while I was coming back home, there was somebody, there were some guys of maybe around 30, 35-year-old. They tried to, they were following, and then I just tried to run and I fell down and I was molested. And I couldn't tell this to anyone, and none of my family members. This took around 6 sessions when she knew that yes, these sessions are confidential, nothing will happen. Then she took so much of time for her to open up. So a little mere, fun thing for one gender can be a lifelong impact on the other gender. Like, I'm sure the guys must have not thought कि उसको इतना बुरा असर हो जाएगा. She will undergo. There are so many things that happen. This is one incident of teasing. I'm sure most of the females must have faced in the metro, everywhere. Like there are no places where you can say that I'm completely safe. So what impact these small incidents of some fun for one gender may cause such big impact on others. A general touch which just shift, you bulky shift. Like there's a small little sentence you say. You might not even realize what that girl or boy is undergoing, what she's facing because of her body weight and her self-image. It's like she's full of doubt as it is, and being a friend is a very responsible thing. Somebody who has to see beyond the physicality of a person. Somebody who has to understand that this person is more than how he looks, and obviously beauty is a mindset. You have to understand that I am a friend, I am in a very responsible position. I cannot do anything, I have to boost her or him. These are small things, if you help each other, come out with and just be okay with fine, like it's okay if somebody said something, you have some other, just don't abandon a person like this. These are small, day-to-day things that we contribute in the form of cause for others who are facing mental health. As a child also I've seen when a child is very introvert. So the parents and teachers, everybody try to be very pushy. She's not talking, she's, ma'am, just push him, baat karaiye and all. This must have happened with few of you. There was somebody who's a very introvert. And suddenly, that child would be pushed, and that is it's a detrimental thing. It's a very, very destroying thing for the person, for the child who grows with a lot of scars. Just empathizing, a little bit of normalizing things which are not what are okay for us, isn't it? Making sense? Thank you.
So I would request students also to come out.
Yeah.
It's all very relatable, whatever you are saying. And even, like I used to wonder why BCIPS is
See, I used to wonder why GDSIPO has, given us the mandate to have a psychologist to be there along with us. And I used to wonder, maybe, like at 55, I never thought that this is the kind of a problem one would go through. Never in our school lives. Maybe, there were a lot of other social things. The families used to be big. Your cousins would be around. There would be a lot of time with the parents. But I don't think so that time is not there. So So I would request students, this is a very good opportunity, and we worked really hard for this. Your colleagues have worked very hard for this, preparing this kid. I'm like, this really opens up a professional,
Absolutely.
See this, I was talking to your director and I was saying that these people have alternate careers already who are acting there. So my request would be, kindly ask and be open, if not now, maybe when you have those sessions when she's there, like she's going to be there in your institute, and make most out of this, right? Thank you so much.
I'm still talking. Okay, so anybody wants to talk or like discuss anything? Shubham, wish to talk? You want to talk some? You can. And I'm glad that people came all the way from Dwarka and all those places. It is such a nice thing to see. Anybody want to talk? So next time you see somebody who's fighting in the class or being agitated, instigating fights, please try to understand that this person is actually facing a lot of things back home or within himself. Just don't let it more and like, okay, fine. I'm sure classes में होती होंगी ना, लड़ाइयाँ हो जाती होंगी. होती है? Okay. You can do that. Right, I know. Is Sawan there? Okay, yeah. So he just came to me with a very small and very nice thing, and I will not point out why he came, but yes, he came up. Though we couldn't talk completely, but what I can understand that you have to trust people where now you all are, average age is around 18 and 19, somewhere around 20 average age होगी. I'm sure इतने बड़े हो गए हो कि आपको अपने friends बनाने की, you should be knowing where you have to bang, where you have to go and trust people. Just do not, half of your issues will solve if you know where to vent and how to vent. Sometimes you just meet and this is my best friend. And after 2 weeks, that best friendship just goes somewhere, and then you are done with all your secrets, everything you have told, and that person is blabbing around in the college. And you have another thing, oh my God, why did I tell this to him? So please be very, very, understand yourself that where and when you have to choose and how you have to choose a friend. Because relatives are somebody we cannot choose. Friends, you have this liberty to choose. Please choose properly, wisely. Anybody wants to? You want to talk? Even during the movie I could see. I won't name, but amongst you there are certain students where I've been coming to your college around 2 years now. So I've seen that students from a very disorganized, and everybody cries in the session. That's okay. What you saw in the movie, and I saw somebody was laughing. That's how the sessions are. You open up and you cry, and it's okay to cry. Just normalize it. Like women cry, men cry. Why do you have to hide and cry or have to hold back? That is not good. Please. You wish to say something? Last seat, black shirt. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand.
Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, what should a person do if he or she feels lonely all the time?
So that depends on, if you're feeling lonely, that means that sometimes you have chosen somebody.
Ma'am, actually, this is a general question.
I am also talking in a very general. You feel lonely when you expect to be with someone, when you don't enjoy your own company. There are so many things to be, if you are feeling lonely, read. There is some hobby. Every individual has some or the other talent. Work on it. You have a career in front of you. Look around you. I'm sure you're feeling lonely. Talk to your mother. Your mothers they love you like, or your fathers, everybody. I would not say please make them your best friends or somebody, but love them that much and accept them as individuals with flaws, but one who will just, unconditionally, there are only few people in this world who will love you. Parents are one, trust me. Maybe you'll not understand, I'm sure, because of certain reason there are researches and studies done that children from 12 age to 24, generally maybe 22, say till 22, they will not relate much to the parents. They'll say, Mummy Papa ko samajh mein nahi aata. But the fact is, Mummy Papa ko sab samajh mein aa raha hai, that is why they don't want you to be doing something. That is why. And in that, the passage or the gap increases so much. The children, so open up, talk to your parents. I'm sure they will not judge you.
Actually, I want to ask another question.
हाँ बेटा.
There are a lot of situations with me that sometimes मैं बहुत ज़्यादा claustrophobic जब होती हूँ तो मैं ऐसी situation face करती हूँ जब मैं बहुत panic हो जाती हूँ. मुझे ये feel होने लगता है कि मेरे को सांस नहीं आ रहा. तो what should I do in that situation?
You come to me, there's an exercise. I tell you, if I tell you like this, it is like or just after the speech, you just meet me. There are certain ways how you have to cope when you're feeling claustrophobic, or like there will be anxiety exercises. Please do not Google your issues. One thing.
Actually, I Google.
I know that all the terms you're using is coming from Google only. So I very well know.
So then, last week, जब मेरे को ये situation हुआ, तो मैंने घर आके जब Google किया कि मुझे हुआ क्या, तो तब मुझे समझ आया कि ये थोड़ा बहुत ही वो situation है जिसमें मैं खुद को claustrophobic feel करती हूँ, एक जगह बंद feel करती हूँ. तो इसीलिए मुझे आपसे पूछना है कि मेरे को क्या करना चाहिए that particular moment.
I'll tell you, it's like, see, if it is an anxiety thing, you will know your triggers. You will know why it is happening. So just work on the triggers. You said that you're claustrophobic. So your mind is conditioned to know that, okay, I'll be in a closed compound, I'll feel claustrophobic.
Yes.
So just, you keep avoiding, and in that avoidance, you undergo more. So these are clinical things. You just meet me afterwards. I'll explain it to you. Because I'm sure that's one of the issues. So we can just talk one-to-one.
Okay.
But should anybody else want to talk something? Please, ma'am.
Hi ma'am. This is an extended question to what she had said. Normally we all have mood swings. We try to manage our mood swings, and of course for every kind of emotion we can consult people on daily basis. Like if somebody is saying I am suffering with OCD, might be he is a person who is liking to be clean and more organized.
Yeah.
So calling himself or herself being a patient, an OCD sufferer, or a person who is looking and who has a kind of way of living, being clean and organized, what is that borderline? When do we feel that now we should seek help from some external agencies? And this is the time that we can manage the things at our level. Like most of the times we don't understand, and we're suffering badly with some mental sickness, and we try to handle it ourselves. And I think so, being a person of this age, I understand how devastating it is sometimes.
Again, like OCD is a very commonly and very wrongly taken word. It is like anybody who's washing hands would say, isko OCD hai ya mujhe OCD hai. OCD is related to certain kind of guilt that is there in your mind. It is related to, if we are talking particularly about OCD, there's a compulsive behavior added to your rituals. Like if you don't follow it, you'll feel discomfort would be there, and you will not be able to do. So if it is just that you have to contradict yourself at certain level, that if I don't do this, I would not feel. There are symptoms like palpitations having. If it is not having, it is just a habit and you're just a cleanliness person. If there are certain things like palpitations and your breathlessness is happening, and you're not able to concentrate on anything, your daily activities, and like you locked the room and you just came out, and but still again you have this mind that I haven't locked the room and I have to just go and check. Don't go and check. put yourself, or while you're logging, tell yourself that I am just logging it, or I've just washed my hand and I'm clean. That's it. And then if it is still recurring and you cannot concentrate on any other thing, then it is OCD, and where it has to be taken to the clinical level. Otherwise, if you practice it, that no media may or aapas mein, like people are talking so frequently about OCD and depression that it is prevalent in everyone's. Like at certain stage, everybody feels that am I OCD? Am I a patient of OCD? So these are certain things, that self-help things, that no, it is not there. I am fine. This self-assurance dena, I'm fine. This helps. If it is still not happening for a period of 31 days, then you need to see a psychologist. Anybody else? You can.
Ma'am, there are times when मुझे रात को नींद नहीं आती है. At times when I overthink about something, I keep thinking about anything that comes into my mind at that particular moment of time, and that does not let me sleep at all throughout the night. So what can I do to avoid that?
Okay, before I answer your question, overthinking is a very misunderstood statement which a lot of us are telling. You are thinking, you're not overthinking. You are thinking about something. The day you don't sleep is something because something important or significant has happened that day, or next day you have to face something. Always. Something significant, or else if it is a mental health issue, disorder, then you have to, like if it is just that, now you have to point out. You are thinking about something, you're not overthinking. Lot of times our friends come up and say, "Mat pareshan ho, you're overthinking." No, you're just thinking, because overthinking is a different thing than thinking. When you are overthinking, you have a cloud. You're not able to think properly. Just break down your pigmented. Break down your thoughts. If I'm thinking this, what will happen? If I'm not thinking, like what will happen? What worse can happen? Or what best can happen with this? Sleeping is like, if you're not able to sleep, just break down, rethink it again. That why am I going to think, like why is it happening that I'm thinking all this incident? Is it that important? I tell this to a lot of people from your college only. I have to ask them, just re-go all the incident that has happened and think that is it important for you to put your minds over there? And if it's still happening, write it down. Half of your issue will solve once you write down. Journaling is very important, but it should be done in a systematic way. Just don't write, or just there should be, a lot of people are coming up with gratifications. Just write good things about things. But if you don't do it strategically, it will not help. You write a lot, I'm sure. Okay. Start writing if there's a problem of not able to sleep. And are you eating properly? Okay, because it is very. Why are you laughing? Why is it? It is just a question I just want to do. Because if you're not eating properly, you'll not be able to sleep. That is why I was asking.
Ma'am, one more question.
Bata.
Ma'am, people relate insomnia to mental health a lot. Like, मुझे insomnia हो गया, I'm not able to sleep, and मैं पागल हो गया क्योंकि मुझे insomnia.
Again, a very wrongly, पागल होना is a.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. So, how is insomnia related to mental health of a person?
Insomnia is radically related. Insomnia is like you're not able to sleep, or you have a trouble sleep. There are again like when you sleep, like if you're able to sleep properly and then you get up, so that is not insomnia, because maybe you have had some more of liquids or something that is not able, you have a disturbed sleep, you use the washroom again and again. So to point out that insomnia is a particular time, like there are certain 3 weeks or 4 weeks of, if you're not able to sleep thoroughly, 48 hours I'm not sleeping. One of the students came to me with this, that I'm not sleeping for 48 hours, that is insomnia. And there you need to channelize yourself. Don't go on meds, first go on a therapy. Insomnia, please don't go on meds. Somebody said that I'm having medicines also. Please reach out to your choice of counselor or a psychologist. Please don't use that. Anybody from that side, I want some questions from that side, please. Beta batao.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, beta.
तो मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो लोग ज़्यादा डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी और स्ट्रेस से गुजरते हैं और कभी-कभी वो रात को रोने बैठ जाते हैं, उनके लिए क्या है मैम?
ये कम अगेन फिर से बताओ।
पता है कि कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं ना जो लोग डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी और स्ट्रेस से सफर करते हैं, तो उनके लिए क्या, और कभी कभी वो इतना
स्ट्रेस से अगर आप फेस कर रहे हो स्ट्रेस, तो आप पहले रीजन ढूंढो कि किस वजह से स्ट्रेस पे हो।
नहीं मतलब कि वही मैम जॉब के लिए और फैमिली के लिए।
हाँ, तो ये बहुत ही जायज बात है ना कि आपको स्ट्रेस हो रहा है, अभी आप लोग सबको सच में फेस करना है, तो आर यू नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड प्रॉपर्ली फॉर योर, व्हाट इज द लेवल ऑफ प्रिपरेशन, दैट इज इफ यू आर वेल प्रिपेयर्ड, इफ यू आर फाइन, आई एम श्योर, और देयर आर नो अदर रीजंस लाइक फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज, साइकोलॉजिकल इश्यूज, there I'm sure you will not face any kind of, those stresses are good stressors. रात में रोना आता है, you said.
Yes.
When you're hopeless you cry, right? जब आपको समझ में नहीं आता है कि आगे बंद रास्ता है.
Yes, मैम आगे क्या करना है वही समझ।
आगे क्या? अभी जो कर लिया उसमें गलत लगता है कि यही करना चाहिए था?
मैम पता नहीं, कभी लगता है कभी नहीं लगता।
कभी लगता है कि शायद गलत डिसीजन हो गया।
Yes, मैम।
अभी कौन से बैच में हो?
मैम सेकंड शिफ्ट BBA।
BBA में सेकेंड ईयर में हो?
सेकंड सेमेस्टर।
सॉरी?
सेकंड सेमेस्टर।
सेकेंड सेमेस्टर में हो?
Yes, मैम।
तो बेटा लाइक दिस इज द फर्स्ट ईयर?
Yes, मैम।
अभी इनिशियली लगता है कि शायद समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, क्यों कर लिया ये?
मैम वो नहीं बोला, मतलब कि जो इमोशनली साइकोलॉजिकल जो इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है ना किसी पर्सन के ऊपर, उसको बहुत बोल रहा हूँ।
You are with Dwarka College?
Yes, ma'am.
Meet me. Come to me whenever. So, what happened? He needs some counseling, so he needs. Otherwise, if you are cluelessly crying, अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा, आपको सिर्फ रोना आ रहा है, जिस समय रोना आ रहा है उस दिन बैठ के लिख लो थोड़ी देर, और talk to somebody who really feels that वो आपकी जो बात होगी वो आप तक ही रहेगी, उससे बात कर रहे हैं। और आपका डिसीजन अगर आपने ऑलरेडी ले लिया है, एक्सेप्ट इट, वर्क हार्ड फॉर इट, जस्ट 3 years के बाद, उसके बाद अगर आपको नहीं करना है, यू कैन चेंज द स्ट्रीम, जस्ट डोंट टेक योर लाइफ सो सीरियसली, इट्स ओके। come up with more. Do you want to ask more? Push on.
Yes, मैम जो हमारे जो फैमिली के प्रेशर करते हैं उसके ऊपर, तो फिर कभी कभी लगता है कि हम वो नहीं बोलो गलत बोल रहे हैं, और एक्चुअली में जो हम सोच रहे हैं वो हम कह नहीं पा रहे वैसे।
हाँ, क्योंकि फैमिली आपकी हेल्प करना चाह रही है, पर आपको लग रहा है कि वो मेरी हेल्प नहीं कर रही है।
यस मैम।
ऐसा होता है?
यस मैम।
Are you not staying with your, आप अपने फैमिली के साथ में नहीं रह रहे हो?
नहीं, फैमिली के साथ ही रहता हूँ। नहीं पता कि जो वो लोग बोल रहे हैं ना, तो वो मेरे को अच्छी तरह समझ नहीं आई कि वो एक्चुअली कहना क्या चाहते हैं
किसी की बात। और you are, if this happens, you are trusting someone else. Like आपको या तो you are not sure, you haven't, आपने जो कोर्स चूज किया वो आपने अपनी चॉइस से चूज किया?
यस मैम, चॉइस से चूज किया।
फिर अभी क्यों कंफ्यूजन है?
अपनी चॉइस पे स्टिक क्यों नहीं हो? एक्चुअली में घर वाले ये बोल रहे हैं कि वो मतलब कि कंपैरिजन करते हैं वैसे कि ये
क्या कह रहे हैं?
कंपैरिजन करते हैं।
सॉरी? कंपैरिजन, हाँ, I know बेटा, this is where parents they want to help you, but उनका तरीका शायद सही नहीं है। ये पेरेंट्स को सीखना पड़ेगा that yes, I completely understand that maybe comparison में वो आपकी हेल्प करना चाहते हैं, आपको इनकरेज करना चाह रहे हैं, पर उनका इनकरेजमेंट कहीं गलत हो जाता है। So understand that there are people with flaws, उनके अंदर भी गलतियां हैं, बट अभी क्या करें, सबसे ज्यादा प्यार भी तो वही करते हैं।
वो तो करते हैं
ना, तो थोड़ा सा इग्नोर कर देते हैं उनकी चीजें।
नहीं मतलब कि वो हद से ज्यादा हो जाए तो फिर
It's okay, let him answer. Please ask. Please be difficult.
नहीं मतलब कि वो ना हद से ज्यादा होते हैं तो फिर कभी कभी आवाज ऊंची हो जाती है, तो इस बात पे वो
फिर बाद में गिल्ट आता है।
यस मैम।
बाद में बुरा लगता है।
यस मैम।
Next time से मत करना। Remember that this happens. This is a very this happens. This is very common that we get agitated and we talk loudly or shout at our mothers, and generally मम्मी के साथ होता होगा।
मम्मी के साथ ही होता है, भैया के साथ।
हाँ, तो just for next time remember that this has happened. The more you react less, जितना आप कम react करेंगे वो उतना कम आपको परेशान करेंगे। Try doing this and meet me once I'm there in your college. बच्चे और कोई? हाँ बताओ।
So ma'am, this is a very general cause happening these days very much. So ma'am, what to do if someone is blackmailing you and for a cause that you cannot share with anyone?
Blackmail
blackmailing you?
Yes, ma'am.
कॉलेज में कोई blackmail कर रहा है, मैम को आके बता दो.
No, ma'am, not in college. I'm just asking it. It is happening very generally, ma'am, on the social media and everywhere. So it's my general question.
So we discussed that, digital footprints. You have to be very, very careful that what you share. So somebody is blackmailing you.
No, ma'am.
I'm not saying you as in like in general.
Yes.
What? So
ma'am, what should we do, ma'am, when we cannot discuss this cause with anyone?
So are you at fault if somebody is blackmailing you?
Ma'am, maybe the person could be at fault.
You have to know that where you are venting out. You have to know that what you are sharing is right or wrong. कितना कहाँ तक कितना share करना चाहिए. And if somebody is blackmailing, just talk it out. Some people who blackmail, they generally want to, see there's another psychology who do that. They want to see you in that troubled state. The day you don't react to their issues, if somebody is black, just go and do. Maximum कितना करेंगे? कुछ disclose कर देंगे. कितना करेंगे? Maximum, just do. Let them do that. The day you face them, they'll stop doing it. Everything, even eve teasers. Consequences face करने से ज़्यादा better ये होगा. Consequences face कर लो ज़्यादा better होगा कि आप day to day suffer कर रहे हो. You're every day you're sleeping with this fear कि कल को ये बता ना दे. Let him tell once. Either he'll tell or he'll not tell or he'll just let it go. Half of the time they'll not do anything because the matter is not that serious. Anybody else? Anything? हाँ बेटा बता.
खड़े तो हो जाओ.
Your mic is not working, beta.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
It is okay. Yeah.
My name is Jyoti Shukla. So, ma'am, attachments have messed my life in the past very badly.
Attachment?
Messed up very badly in past. So now, अभी मेरे को अपने अंदर ये चेंज देखने को मिल रहा है.
Everybody, please hear his question.
ये चेंज देखने को मिल रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं मैं एक ऐसा इंसान बन रहा हूँ जो लोगों को अपने करीब आने से पहले ही दूर कर दे रहा है. ये सोच के कि उनको मौका ही ना दे जाए. Just the same thing that I was doing in the movie. So I can very well relate.
Right. So, this was the question.
And one example is like अगर मेरे किसी दो फ्रेंड में लड़ाई होती है और मैं दोनों का दोस्त हूँ, तो अगर किसी एक का स्टैंड लेने का बात आएगा, पहले होता था मैं स्टैंड लेता था राइट और रॉन्ग, बट अब मैं दोनों से कट ऑफ कर लूँगा just to make things sorted and don't want to be because दोनों के साथ मेरा अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है और उनके भी मेरे साथ है. तो किसी को भी ऐसा लगे कि उसने उसके लिए मुझे छोड़ दिया या फिर उसने मेरा स्टैंड नहीं लिया. So ये fear of attachments थोड़ा बढ़ रहा है.
तो आप दोनों को abandon कर देते हो? दोनों को छोड़?
I abandon myself from them.
That
so
is all the same
they
thing.
don't overcome on me.
मतलब आपको लगता है कि कहीं वो आपस में आपके ऊपर ना कुछ गलत समझे आपको?
No, sometimes I feel my life is too sorted, but when I see others, I get depressed.
Are you very sensitive?
I keep myself abandoned from them so that their life don't affect me.
Okay. And that is because you had a bad experience with your own attachment, like what you told me earlier, right? So it is a very important question, like your question is very important. This is very common in your age, like what is happening. Like we choose a person who is not that serious as you are. Sometimes what happens, हम किसी को choose कर लेते हैं, हम सोचते हैं this person is right for me. And in that flow of emotion and everything, that person accepts you, but that person is not in completely in you or feeling for you the way you are feeling. So it becomes a very important, role of the partner whom you are choosing to accept on the very first, or they don't. Sometimes this must have happened that we say yes because temporarily we feel things are nice. We accept the proposal of somebody like, yeah, fine, okay, let's be in the college and she's with her and all those things. You have to choose the right person. You have to understand. Please don't abandon people like this. Stay, be with them. Understand that who is right. Just don't vent out emotions on the very first or 2 or 3 meetings. When just don't be in that height of understanding somebody. Just give time to yourself. If somebody is coming close to you, just be in that phase that it's okay and normalize it. Everybody is, I'm sure what you must have faced, nobody is asking, but I'm sure around most of them must have faced what you're facing. So next time you don't try to abandon people, try to understand that is he the right person for me? Is he the right person for me to bank on? To understand that this person will be there in my future or not. Only then express your emotions. And it was not your fault, as said. If somebody did something wrong to you, it was not your fault. Don't be at guilt, don't punish yourself in that way. Both your friends are important to you. Talk to them. Don't try to solve their issues. It is for them to solve their issues. You are nobody to solve them. Maybe you can have a clear picture, you can discuss it once. If they are not understanding, just don't mess yourself in them. Because every individual is responsible enough to take care of themselves. Making sense?
Take one or two more questions.
हाँ बेटा. Oh ma'am, sorry.
One or two questions.
And like I said, that they prescribe medicines for anxiety and depression. So, is it okay to take these medicines? Because some people say that they are very addictive.
It is okay under medical practitioners. You should not go and just have, because if they are very common, a lot of people know the names and it's easily available. Just do not, if the medical practitioner is saying, please have it. If they are not saying, and there is a pattern of having it. You cannot just have these medicines like this. Just for you, like you said that they are addictive. Yes, they are. One has to take and meet the doctor every fortnightly so that you don't get addicted. They alter the medicine, the ratio. So if the doctor is saying, only then you are supposed to take medicines and it helps. If the doctor is not saying, and if he's saying that only refer to some therapist, please refer one. And it is not, half of the time it's not required in first, second stages. Only when you don't reach out at the right time and you reach out at the advanced levels, when you have started feeling a physiological changes in them, then you need to take medicines, and yes, you have to take medicines. Anybody? Okay. Shall we wind? So, it's okay to be not so okay at times? You're a wonderful actor. Okay. So, shall we wind? Anybody wants to say anything or anything you want to talk? I would like you to talk. Shubham, you want to talk? No one? It's okay. It's okay.
I want to add on to this. Like, none of is perfect. We all have bad days. We all gonna feel shut sometimes. And that's fine. Don't take it so seriously. We'll last through it. And make sure that you don't live for someone else's validation. It's your validation in the last that matters. You might not be good at one thing, but we can be good at 3 other things. Keeping this in mind, we should move on. And yes, like we are living with the current situation where internet play a vital role. We have to look perfect, we have to behave perfect, and all the time we have to react perfect. Everybody messed up. That's totally fine. In the end, that matters is your validation that you are happy. Keeping that in mind, you should move on. Thank you.
So I need around 10 students. One last thing, and then you all can. Then we'll have a small play, small game. Any 10 of volunteers. 10, 50, any number. Come. Anybody wants to come up? Come. Anybody can volunteer. Anybody.
जाओ दोनों जाओ।
Okay, so he'll be doing something and then she'll be following. Nobody will see her and then it will just go one by one. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Battery.
Now this is misunderstanding. This is what is misunderstanding. You know, you say something and it reaches somewhere something else.